Alright everyone, this is it, the final episode of Transformers Cyberverse. After 3 seasons and a little over 60 episodes, this is the last one, episode 62, the other one. It's great to see Windblade again, but I gotta wonder, if this is only part of Windblade, which part is it? Because she seems to be totally fine talking to Optimus inside the Matrix. It is kind of disappointing that Tarn is not actually Tarn, but instead it's just the physical representation of what Megatron's idea of a perfect Decepticon is. Although, if you had to choose one Decepticon to be the most Decepticon-y looking Decepticon of them all, I don't think there's any better choice than Tarn. Optimus and Megatron used their Power of Cybertron Matrix gimmick again to power up all those in the area. So now I really gotta wonder, do the others have powered up alt modes too? Like does Thunder Howl now have an upgraded beast mode, like how Bumblebee got his flying car mode? I don't know how to feel about the other Megatron's design. On the one hand, he's a bigger black repaint of the original Cyberverse Megatron design. He reminds me of Megatron in IDW when he got his stealth bomber body. On the other hand, he's literally just an upscaled black version of the Cyberverse Megatron's original design. He's clearly got some upgrades, like his hot hands, but our universe's Megatron also got upgrades when he went multiverse hopping. It seems like they knew ahead of time that this other Megatron was going to be an upscale black repaint of the existing Megatron, so that's why they made our Megatron look different. After all, if they did it the other way around and gave the other Megatron the double fusion cannon and stuff, then when our Megatron came back from the multiverse and was the same but just beaten up, he'd seem weaker, not tougher, despite having a Matrix. I feel like maybe they should have went all in and given this other Megatron a completely different design, like that of the Stealth Bomber Megatron from IDW, which he seems like he may be inspired by. Or they should have just made him Galvatron. Don't get me wrong, he still looks awesome. I'm just questioning why, since he obviously has some upgrades too, why he doesn't have the same upgrades as our Megatron and more. I do like how Megatron quotes Transformers the movie.
Prime, one shall stand, one shall...
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Even if it doesn't quite make sense, and we all know it's just stuck in here for fan service.
Hold on, my friend.
I love the fact that we flash back to the events of Megatron is My Hero and see what would have happened if things turned out differently. I love that kind of alternate history, alternate universe kind of stuff.
Think carefully, old friend. If I must, I will do this without you. And if you do not join us, you are against us. I will not join you. Then it will be war is goodbye. What about you, Scott? Will you join us?
Never.
But now it makes me wonder what happened to the rest of the Decepticons in his universe. He mentions how Shadow Striker looks like one of Shockwave's failed experiments. And obviously his Shockwave must still be around because we see him use Shockwave's grid cannon thing that our Megatron used to destroy the Ark at the beginning of this season. Although he does later mention unneeded Decepticons. So is he implying that once he created his army of perfect Decepticons in the form of Tarn, he did away with all his other Decepticons? Or is he simply saying that he has no need for a bunch of multiverse duplicates of his own existing Decepticons? Speaking of which, I am very disappointed in the Decepticons for immediately pledging their loyalty to this other Megatron. They obviously have no loyalty to their own Megatron, or even their own universe for that matter. When Bumblebee is on the run with the other Matrix, we see Tarn soldiers teleporting in front of him, which are promptly taken out by friendly Autobots and Decepticons. Are we to assume that our Megatron had built his own teleportation technology, and that's how they're able to counter them so quickly? Also, Ratchet wasn't even part of the raiding party, was he? How did he get teleported? I really wish these episodes were the standard 22 minutes instead of 11 minutes. Maybe then we'd get some kind of explanation. When Optimus and the other Megatron have their Matrix Blast fight, it totally reminds me how in Dragon Ball, you'd always have that part in the battle where the good guy, usually Goku, and the villain of that saga are having some kind of tug of war with their respective energy blasts. I like how really it was Windblade who ended up saving the day. Remind me, why isn't this show called Transformers Cyberverse Windblade Adventures instead? The ending is extremely abrupt. We aren't explicitly told or even shown that Megatron's Matrix has been destroyed completely. After all, in my opinion, the Primes and the Matrix aren't inherently the same thing. Also, the fact that Astrotrain says he's just going to hang out in the multiverse and keep the other Megatron inside him for as long as he can? For one thing, I assume he means unspace? I don't think he's just going to keep hopping around to different universes, is he? Also, does Astrotrain have some kind of jail inside him that I'm not aware of? If so, I hope it's heavily fortified. Otherwise, I assume that if this Megatron gets well enough that he can get up and walk around, he's just going to start beating and tearing at Astrotrain's insides until he either kills him or forces him to take him back to either his own universe or ours. So why not just chuck him into unspace and be done with it?
Nothing from outside unspace can survive for long inside unspace.
There's so many questions here, and we don't even get a chance to ask them before we see that Windblade is finally all back together and the episode, season, and series come to a close. Seriously, it feels like there should be another episode after this explaining how life went on afterwards, or something. Come on, I need more of an epilogue than this. We don't even know for sure if Megatron survived or not. The other Megatron burned off his Decepticon badge. Do you think if our Megatron survived, he would have used that as a sign and become an Autobot like IDW Megatron? I do love that if you look really closely, you can see that Soundwave, Shadow Striker, and Clobber are all there to see Windblade at the end. Clobber's not so much of a surprise since she's now an Autobot, but it's great to see Soundwave and Shadow Striker there too. Maybe the Autobots and Decepticons will finally live in peace from now on. I also feel like they could have done a lot more with this other universe where Megatron won. I'd love to see Bumblebee accidentally get stuck there for an episode, disguise himself as a Decepticon, and have to find his way back home. Why couldn't they let us see what Cybertron is like over there? What's life like for the Decepticons after they've defeated the Autobots? Are they out there conquering the galaxy? Or are they actually at peace? Or is it really dark and depressing? I wish there was a 4th season or some kind of TV movie that really helped wrap things up. This was such a great series. It was so much better than expected. In fact, I believe this series had a lot more potential than it was allowed to fulfill. But I think I'm going to talk about that in a separate video reviewing Cyberverse as a whole once I get a chance to rewatch the entire series from beginning to end. For now, let me know your thoughts on the series finale of Transformers Cyberverse, the other one. Did it live up to your expectations? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching all my reviews of this series. We still don't know what the future holds as far as mainline Transformers cartoons on TV, but we do have that upcoming War for Cybertron Netflix show, which should be coming very soon, if it's not out already by the time you're watching this. And I will be sure to review that series as well. But for now, let me know what you thought of Transformers Cyberverse. Also, please watch my Rescue Bots Academy reviews. That's a really great show too. And some of the episodes in Season 2, man, I can't wait to talk about them. Look forward to more Transformers news, reviews, and videos in general. Thanks once again for watching, and I'll see you next time.
To friendship.